What is up, homies? Hello and welcome. This is Neldrin and today is the part 3 of our resource management series. We will discuss ships and equipment. If you are interested in how to farm oils, coins, cubes and gems, go check out part 1. If you are interested in shop currencies, you can check part 2. But before that, for our question of the day. Which feature would you like to be added or needs improvement in the game? For me, I think the commissions need improvement. Daily commissions are fine for me. But the urgent commission, I wish we can set a focus on which material we would like to farm more. This feature is somewhat similar in the Research Academy. Of course, we might still get commissions that we don't want, it's just having more chances of getting what we really needed. What are the resources that fall under the ships category? These are skill books, retrofit blueprints, PR blueprints, ship resources or what we call the Bullens, and duplicate ships. For weapons, we have the equipment plates and gearboxes. For now, I won't be including the gears and materials that are used to construct equipment in the gear lab. I'll make a separate video about that. Skill books are probably what you will use the most since you want to level up the skill of your ships to maximize their combat potential. The most commonly used are the red and yellow books. You want to farm it every Tuesday, Friday and Sundays on your daily raids. You can also buy it in the general and exchange shop. Skill books can be obtained as well as a reward on events and side missions. Commission is also one way you can obtain it. There is a recent update and most of you probably know about this. You can combine skill books to upgrade it into one tier higher. The issue here is that you will be losing value if you compare the number of books you will be combining into one. I don't really recommend doing this, especially if you want to get the most points. But if you are a busy person who is not allowed to check on your phone for long hours, upgrading your books is probably better since you don't have to refresh the training hours from time to time. As discussed in my past video, unlocking an additional slot for the training hall is optional, especially if you are free to play. Please visit part 1 to know more details. You want to focus on training on your main damage dealer first, such as your barrage back line and main DPS in your front line like Belfast, Nemi and Laffy. Second priority are the support ships that give buffs like Cleveland, Leander, Queen Elizabeth and Portland. Sometimes there are blue skills that offer offensive buffs or barrage, so better check properly your skills. Retrofit blueprints are obtainable on hard mode stages. Each map has its own corresponding ship classification. They can also be acquired via commissions. Aside from retrofitting ships, these blueprints are also used as a requirement in your PR ships. You can upgrade T1 blueprints into T2, but you cannot upgrade T2 to T3. PR blueprints are used to enhance your PR ships. Since this is the only way to enhance your PR ships, make sure to farm these first before rushing the EXP farming of your desired PR, or else they won't do much damage. During events, the event shop always sells general blueprints. Take this opportunity especially if you are running short on blueprints or if you want to use the PR ships immediately. Keep in mind that you need tons of blueprints before the PR ship becomes efficient in battles. Another way to farm PR blueprints is via research. It is typically random depending on the focus of the research you are doing. If you want to have a guaranteed blueprint of your choice, you have to do the cognition research. Most of the research that gives PR blueprints will ask for either coins or cubes. If you are saving for an event, you have to decide which one is your priority. For me, getting rainbow blueprints is the top priority since these blueprints are so rare and expensive at event shops. Next is soul forming research since it is giving more blueprints compared to cognition research. If both research are not available, then I'll be saving for coins and cubes. Lastly, if I have extra of these resources, then this will be the time I will do the blueprint research. Once your PR ship is dev level 30, most of them will unlock Fate Simulation. You will still need blueprints to level this up. If you manage to complete it, all extra blueprints can be converted into prototype core, which can be used to buy general blueprints. Both PR and retrofit blueprints can also be bought at the exchange shop. And if you want more tips on how to spend your resources wisely, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Bullens are used as a substitute if you don't have a duplicate ship for limit breaking or retrofitting. Purple Bullens can be used for common, blue and purple rarity ships, and yellow Bullen can be only used for yellow rarity ships. Bullens are obtainable from weekly missions, monthly login, and can be bought in merit and exchange shops. Usually, you want to save up these Bullens if you are completing event missions to get the portrait, just in case you will be unlucky to get duplicates from construction. Since purple Bullens are easily obtainable, feel free to use it, unless the ship is easily farmable. For yellow Bullens, you have to use it wisely. It depends on your priority. For me, I only prioritize the portrait missions if I think it looks cool. I always go for performance before aesthetics. If you are prioritizing the portrait missions, my advice is to do the limit breaking after your final build in the event, so that no Bullens and duplicates will be wasted if you manage to pull one while the event is ongoing. Speaking of limit breaking, I advise that you only limit break if you meet a certain level, because limit breaking will increase oil consumption. On paper it might be 1 or 2 oil increase, but when you sum it up to your fleet plus the number of sorties you will be engaging, it will cost you a lot. Well, unless you played very casually, this shouldn't be an issue. If you watched one of my past videos, I suggested not to lock common ships. If you are just starting out, the only common ships I suggest you to lock are Leander, the Königsberg Sisters and the zombie ships. Leander is one of the best early game support because of her yellow skill, plus the retrofit stats she will be having. Königsberg Sisters because you want to start developing Rune as soon as possible since she is a strong tank. The zombie fleet because of their oil efficiency, which can be used to farm certain maps. Though to be honest, they are my least recommended ships to lock, because if I will be farming a certain map, I'll use the ships I need to level up instead of them. I understand that some of you might be having oil issues, that's why I'm including them. You don't want to lock common ships at early levels, because your dock space is limited, and it will take a while before you can farm up gems for dock expansion. Put your fleet tech on hold and do it only once you have more dock spaces. Since they are common ships, there shouldn't be an issue of obtaining them again. Common ships are usually used to enhance your ships. For purple and blue rarity ships, I advise not to use them for enhancement. If you don't need these ships, better to retire them for a Medal of Honor currency which can buy other items that you might need. For our gears, equipment plates are obtainable on main story and event maps. You can also obtain them from commissions, and these are random. You should also do the daily raids during Monday, Thursday and Sunday. Starting at World 6, you can get the purple plates. Equipment plates are also randomly sold at general shops. You can also buy a limited amount of purple plates at the event shops. Gold plates are obtainable if you are participating in guild operations. I suggest you farm the main gun and general parts at the early and mid levels since you'll be needing it often for your vanguards and battleships. And it will help you to progress faster. Farm anti-air and aircraft plates at late game, because there will be more planes flying around at later stages. For beginners, as much as possible, do not upgrade your equipment if it is white or blue rarity, except on some items. It is a waste on plates, and up next I'll discuss how you can get better equipment. Gearboxes are randomly obtainable from the item node from main story maps. You can also get them from your daily raids. They are sold from all shops except the prototype shop. For beginners, you can use the event shop to buy gold boxes, so that you can have high-rarity equipment early on the game. You can visit Part 2 of the Resource Management series for more detailed information on which currencies you should be spending to gearboxes. Additionally, do not open white and blue boxes. You can combine them until purple box, so that you have a higher chance of getting better equipment. I'll be leaving a link below to know which equipment is great and which are trash. If you manage to get trash equipment, you can save it so that you will have something to offer on collection research that will require you to scrap some gears. Now to summarize. Skill books are probably the most frequent item you will be using. Focus leveling your damage dealers and supports first. PR and retrofit blueprints are easily farmable, just be aware on other resources you are consuming when farming these items. Learn to manage your ship resources and know when to break your ships to not waste any bullens and duplicate ships. And lastly, equipment plates and gearboxes are easily farmable too. Always check which equipment should be kept and which equipment should be prioritized on enhancing. I hope that this guide gave you some takeaways on managing your ship and equipment resources. If I missed something or if you have a different approach, let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. You guys are awesome, and see you on my next guide.